Kareer, and on today's top 10, I have for dissection the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max and whether or not it's worth the buy. But before I get into a detailed 10-point review, let me mention that Xiaomi has been pretty smart. It's got a very interesting strategy when it comes to its product lineup. It will offer you multiple products, multiple variants at every price point just to make sure that they cover all bases of the target audience. So it was a little surprise to me when the brand launched the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max release just a few weeks after the Redmi Note 9 Pro's launch. So is the Pro version better than the Max version? Is the Max version worth the price increase? And what purpose does it serve? Let's break it down for you in 10 quick points. First up, the design. It's pretty sleek. As you can see, the edges and all, it's got a glass back. But yes, as the name goes, Max, it certainly is big and bulky. So single-handed usage for long periods did induce some sort of discomfort for me. As far as the rear of the phone is concerned, it's got a reflective glass finish. But then again, this panel is prone to smudging. Even if you handle it carefully, it is going to happen. You'll have to wipe it off multiple times. But to resolve that, the brand has given a case that comes into the box. And the phone is protected with a P2I splash-proof coating, which essentially is a repellent of sorts for light water splashes. So don't be worried if you happen, to be sweating, or if you happen to sprinkle a couple of drops of water on it. Don't worry about that. As far as the colors are concerned, there's Interstellar Black, there's Aurora Blue, and Glacial White. I have with me, as you can see, the Aurora Blue. And interestingly, this phone actually also carries an audio jack, which is a rarity these days as far as smartphones are concerned. The display. Oh, what do I tell you about display? It's bright, crisp, and sharp, I guess. It comes with a large 6.67-inch IPS display, so the big screen is actually great for your movie watching, your video watching experience, or even just playing games. But my friends, if there is one big differentiator between the Pro and the Max, it's the cameras. Much like most of the other smartphones that are in the market these days, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max comes with an excellent quad camera setup, quad camera assembly. At the back of the phone at the rear, you can see a 64 megapixel primary camera, then you have an 8 megapixel camera, ultra wide camera, then you have a 5 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor camera. So it's a combination, as is obvious, but for those it's not. Let me tell you, it's a combination of these cameras that will give you aesthetically looking pictures, nice looking pictures that you perhaps will get on professional cameras. So which is why, you have a blurred background of sorts, the foreground is sharp. So that, I believe, is the best innovation that has happened to smartphones. The fact that you don't need a professional camera to shoot amazing pictures, beautiful looking pictures. That's the backstory, but the front story is equally amazing. You've got a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and I think it's pretty sharp. It's a bad picture, forget the bad picture, but see, the colors are pretty nice, it's pretty sharp, and because there's enough light, so it's doing justice to the setting right here. And here's another picture that I took during the day. It's nice and sharp, and you can just zoom in and it will give you more and more detail. It's not going to blur out, it's not going to get grainy, but actually with both the selfies and the camera, and in fact the videos as well. I'll show you the video that I have with me. The video also is pretty nice and bright. It's nice and bright during daytime, but as soon as low light hit, the output started falling and grains started to appear, which wasn't too impressive. And of course, then it's got some really nice tricks like slow motion. And yes, since these days short video formats are quite in, so this mode in the camera here in the video section here, actually short video mode, actually gives you 15-second clips. So great for Instagrammers and Chingari users. Enough of play, let's get to the serious bit performance. Now, it is supported by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G octa-core processor, which ensures that your phone is quick, it's smooth for you to switch from one app to another. And yes, the phone was pretty cool, and yes, it It also keeps your phone cool. It doesn't get heated up. So, to that I'll give a thumbs up perhaps. And then gaming is also handled pretty well in this phone. It's a breeze, to sort of play any sort of games that you might want to. The big screen, as you can see, only adds to your viewing experience. So multitasking, and switching from one app to the other was pretty smooth. I did not face any hurdles there. There was no stoppage. The phone didn't get hung. So it was all in all a great experience as far as the performance is concerned. But there is one tiny little downside to it, the refresh rate. Now, a standard 60 Hz refresh rate for a massive phone like this isn't so great after all. That's a surprising omission, I feel, from the brand. On the software front, you have the latest MIUI 11, which is not the best and hence carries all the other problems that this interface carries. So it's got pre-installed bloatware, and some of them, just seem spam-filled, and you obviously don't want that. And then this phone supports the latest Android 10 version, which is great again. So it's got some nice little tricks, 15-second short videos. It's got great camera, great pictures, great videos. Supports the latest Android 10. But what about the battery? I don't want to be charging my phone multiple times in a day. But then this phone is pretty sorted on that front. If you manage to overlook all the other minor downsides to this phone, it's got a humongous 5020 mAh battery, which is the same as is available in the Pro version as well. Now, with regular use, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, this phone actually lasted me for roughly about 1.5 days before needing another charge. And then it also has a 33-watt fast charging feature that takes nearly an hour to charge the phone fully. For HD usage, it lasted just about that, maybe a little less than that. Price and variants. Now first let's talk about the variants. Well, it's got the usual ones. You have a 6GB RAM, 64GB storage, that actually comes at 16,499. Then you have a 6GB RAM, 128GB storage, which is available at 17,999. Then you have an 8GB RAM and a 128GB storage available at 19,999, which is about 20,000. So, those are the price ranges, that are available, which I feel are a little on the higher side. If you have most of these versions available in the Pro version of the phone, with minor additions to this phone, and the Pro version is available at a lesser rate, why would you want to pay extra for this phone? So what works for this phone, at least for me, is its powerful processor, the cameras, the fast charging capabilities, and the battery. Those four things really stood out for me as far as the Max version is concerned. But what did not really stand out for me, without a doubt, is that it's quite bulky. I can't hold it for a very long periods of time, and of course it's pre-installed bloatware. And then when you're recording a video or you're shooting a photograph, clicking a picture, clicking a selfie, low light really ruins photographs. They're just about decent and not really that sharp as you would get them in wonderfully lit situations. Unfortunately, it doesn't do justice to the high price point entirely in the end, since it has nothing special to add in comparison to the Pro version, which is available at a far lower price, starting at rupees 13,999. The Max, of course, this phone adds just about minor tweaks in terms of camera and processor, and yes, some tricks as well. But for those of you who've fallen for this phone hook, line and sinker, it really is not that bad a buy. So let me know what you thought of this top 10 review, and if you happen to like this, please go to timestarnews.com and you can find many more such reviews, news and videos around tech. And yes, let me know your thoughts just in case you decide to buy this phone, or if you hear from your friends on what are your thoughts about this phone, its usage, its functionality, and of course the camera. You can find me on Instagram at @SumitaKarri, and let's take the conversation there.